Got a few more downloads to take for deepfake, but the devil is the devil after all in the details.
Oh, do earnings continue to support 28?
Well, like I said, it becomes a big problem. Where are we going with it? The revenues say I hit. People in their pocket, I know they're indexed to see the hit. What are you doing today? Whether I should put money in you tomorrow or not, boss.
I mean, sometimes
Turns down a Dirac's equation on vectors and general relativity equations, like box on a box, and I'll put dimensional down, I'll zoom it in, and macro, micro, the hell out of that thing, over the dark web, the entirety of the universe, and how that would graph in the universe sandbox here, buddy.
But a lot of other names that we're going to talk about in this show. So you hit on the revenue growth. You hit on the fact that Alphabet's revenue growth was above 60%. Think about that quarter. Microsoft's revenue growth, we were talking about maybe double digits, above 20%. So it is about continued revenue growth. And I think what's interesting about this was we really believed in Q3 and Q4 of 2020 that growth was going to begin to decelerate for megacap technology as you moved out of the pandemic. That's just not the case. It's actually accelerating even further. And there's been this paradigm shift because of the pandemic, that the adoption and the usage of these megacap technology names is increasing even more. So I share the positive sentiments of everyone so far, and I think it'll continue with Facebook tonight.
I give you one more stat, which is just astounding when talking about all three of these companies.
Change his food
Apple,
schedule,
Google, Microsoft see combined after-tax profits of $57 billion in Q2, nearly double the year earlier period and 30% above expectations. But Joe, I mean, are you suggesting that any dip in any of these stocks is an opportunity to buy? Is that what you're saying?
Tell me when it wasn't.
Tell me when it wasn't.
Of course it is.
That's a great question.
These are companies where you're
we're just on time to say, nope, pause, devil today, right here. Certainly just ran a shot out of the box using Schrodinger. But while we are on the DN core,
70% of the entire S&P 500, 70% of the S&P 500, you can't find this type of revenue
general
growth.
relativity on the stone mill, make it a LiDAR, for vector positions on the profit rating, moving rock to pyramid or Chinese wall or brownie factory.
That's no knock. Look at the numbers, right?
Fuck the Marine!
So if you knock the cover off the ball this quarter, but you hit for the cycle the next, you don't have a few grand slams loaded in there too. Is that a problem? So what?
So what? Cases say they were weak when they hit me on the board for Supreme Court everything.
Hold on, Court. Hold on.
Go ahead.
There are laws that determine energy.
Okay, so
yours
what I think, Scott, is
being
exactly
a
what you're
graphable
saying,
index
but
under a
are we
spring,
projecting
using
that?
both
Is that
of those
something that we see
values in
coming
terms of
forward
this
when you listen to somebody
interpretation,
like
say,
Katie
I
Huberty
shouldn't be the
over
best,
Morgan Stanley
by
in her
far.
piece long before the Apple earnings? She talked
Put me in the
about
room with
5G
somebody.
and the
It'd
growth
be the
that they've
chest
got there, and
on
obviously the margin
GPT-3,
growth
make
that
me a
they've got
master
as well.
mason
So
of beating the Reaper
there is
on the
something
board.
going forward where we can see this
The
cycle
Reaper
continuing.
means
Now,
that
when it
field and
slows
this
down,
cowboy
to your
out here with a
point,
sickle.
yeah, then that's going to be an issue because we look at the multiples a lot more closely if we start to see any kind of a slowdown. We haven't seen that.
It can't
We've
go
seen
up
this
at wait.
You have, yeah, because it eventually has a bite. When you didn't program, it's like, oh, it was just those little things. But then you're the programmer tweaking around the fucking buttons inside here, and it goes totally sentient on you. And you can't live without it.
Are you kidding me? 62%
right?
year-on-year revenue growth for Alphabet. So if it's 57, we're going to
Topology
suggest
is a derivative. I could get you out there along with Nancy Pelosi and anybody else I consider in the village, and there will be a law.
When they start slowing down, Scott, that's when people do start to get a little bit nervous.
Because I agree with a lot of
and they
this.
start to wonder,
We have
am I
many
holding this too long?
things in
I'm not
common.
saying that everybody's going to run for the shore.
And we
but
all have
I think
common
the reality
squeakies that
is
graph to
that
prime
when we
that
start
say
to
it's
see
a
those
stock
slowdowns,
index
we've
at a
seen it in the
Senate
past
that
when we've
is
had
just
great
a group
numbers
of
from
people getting
specific
together and
companies,
working in the
and then
stone
we
mill.
start to see that slowdown,
And we'll
then
cut the
people start
insurance
to jump
out.
off the
We'll
ship. But
do
we
the value
don't
inside of the
project that right
system,
now. We
appreciate
continue to
gravity
see
for what it
would
is in
be
the form of
another
government
couple of
and
quarters
silver
at
coin
least
rolling
going
into the
the
bread
future.
factory,
And
working
so
just
while we've got
goddamn
that,
fine.
yes, these stocks are going to continue, I think, to move in that same direction to the upside.